One, two. Good evening, everyone. And this is the inaugural JC Tonic product call. And I just want to quickly give you an overview here. And we're going to have this as quick as possible because it is summer and people are busy. And I was given a phone call back in June by a longtime business partner. And he said, you have to try this product called JC Tonic. And if at any time you want to see what we're talking about on the internet, you would just type in daniel.jurak.com. So that's daniel.jurak.com. And that purple button you see at the bottom of the page, that'll take you right there. So I have on the call with me the creator of this product, Anthony Jurak's father, Carl. And from what I understand, Anthony, back in the 1920s and 30s, your father was quite a accomplished a scientist, and he discovered how to take these tonic herbs and create an incredible product. So take it away, sir.
Well, thank you, Daniel, and hello, everyone. And I just want to make sure you all know I am not the father. I mean, he's up there somewhere, I don't know where, but in 1922 in Europe, he was a bit of an amateur mountain climber, and he had a shortage of breath one time that was almost he thought he would fall, and then he thought he would pull everyone down with him. And he was studying plants at the time in agrobiology, and he thought maybe he could find the answer in plants, and that's what got him started. Well, it's a long story, and you don't have 40 hours to listen, but I'll give you the 2-minute overview. Hopefully that will get you a little bit of history and why and how this works. And then, of course, Daniel can fill you in anytime by you contacting him. But when you go to his website, you'll read an awful lot of material, how this works and what a tonic herb really is. And my dad started working on this only to oxygenate his blood. But as he started working with the blood and the plants, he started to discover other things happening, because as he made little lab samples and then little batches, and he would give it to friends and family, and they would try it, and some would start saying, you know, I feel this, I feel that. Long story short, it took him about 20 years to get that eureka moment somewhere at the very beginning of the 1940s. And it was such a momentous accomplishment, because he managed to put the molecular chain together in such a way that it is giving these kinds of results today. Because he started commercializing it in 1943. He had been giving it away, making those little things, little batches, and he finally couldn't afford it. He started charging a little bit of money for it in 1943. And by 1945, he formed a company, and he called it Matol, M-A-T-O-L, Research Limited. And he started commercializing, and it was producing results that were not to be believed. I have some letters still that were written to him in those days. People would say, you know, I was using insulin, I don't use it anymore. I had cirrhosis of the liver, I don't have it anymore. Well, you know, today we make absolutely no claims, because this is not a preparation for the liver or the kidney or for sugar or for heart. It is not intended to be an organ specific. It is a whole body approach, and that happens through as a catalyst through the purification, detoxification, and the oxygenation of the blood. Now, you know that the blood is that's life. Everything is in the blood. It does everything. It goes in every part of the body. And I don't know, there's 60,000 or 90,000 miles of circulatory system, so it touches everything. So when we say we have people who were going to have their toes amputated, and after drinking the tonic, the skin turned back to the normal color after a few weeks or months, this is not a claim of any kind. It's just a pure fact. There's a photo of it, the toes before and the toes after. I don't know how it happens except through what my father said is happening, and that's the chemical changes in the blood. Now, over a lifetime, people's blood just collects more and more junk. And if you go to like a live blood, take a live blood test, they take a drop of blood, they put it on a screen under an electronic microscope. You can see the blood still moving. You can see the red cells, the white cells, and so on. Well, I've seen some blood that's hardly moving because it's so full of junk and garbage and fat and grease and germs and bacteria. Some of the red blood cells are clumped together, 6 or 8, just glued together. Well, how can the blood function properly? It cannot deliver hormones correctly. It probably does not have the ability to carry enough oxygen. It certainly can't distribute the nutrients and pick up all the junk in your various parts of your body and bring it out and expel it. So it's not doing the job it did when you were maybe 20 years old or 30 years old. So you on the call that are 20 or 30, now is the time to start so that your blood does not get to be like, I don't know, 90% or 80% or 85% of people in this country, and probably pretty close to that number in the rest of the world. The blood is like a sewer system, and it gets worse as you get older. So the body cannot function properly. It's like leaving your car without maintenance for several tens of thousands of miles. It's going to stop on you, and it might just never start again. That's what happens to a body. So you need that maintenance, which is what this is. But the beauty of this is that no matter what state you're in, no matter what your illness is, no matter what is wrong with you, if you start this within the first bottle, and it's 32 ounces, and by the time you finish the bottle, something good is going to happen because the blood is starting to change. And that starts to change every part of your body. Every organ gets affected positively, every system. If you go on the website, you'll read something that Dr. Daniel Mowry wrote. He wrote a great book called Herbal Tonic Therapies, and he explained what a tonic herb is. And Daniel has a presentation by him that he can send you. It's an audio that he did for our membership that Dan Mowry explains in great detail what a tonic herb is and how, when he discovered the JC Tonic, he couldn't believe that somebody had figured out that concept. And he actually thought he was going to be the man that's going to have to bring a whole body tonic to the country. And here he was reading what I had sent him, and so he started writing for us. And this presentation really, really tells you exactly the scientific background of what a tonic herb is, how rare they are, and how he could not believe that my father was able to put something like this together. So that is the story in a nutshell. As you can hear me speaking, I can go on forever because there are many, many years in between. But look, this has been used now commercially for 80 years. Show me another product that's out there that is still doing its job after 80 years. There's nothing new and improved about this one. It's the old one, the way it was made when my dad was making it, and we've continued to make it the same way. And everybody says, you should add this, you should add... No, we're not doing anything, because you know why? As we say in our website, it flat out works. Folks, drink one bottle and you will realize what's happening. And by the way, there is a money-back guarantee on that first bottle, but only if you drink the bottle. If you drink 2 ounces and say it doesn't work, it's not going to work. It may work on the first ounce, it may take the 22nd ounce, it may be the 30th ounce. We don't know. I don't know what your body's doing, a million things a second. I don't know how badly off it is in any department, the liver, the kidney, who knows? And even the doctors don't know. That's why they give you this. Hey, try this. If it doesn't work, hey, I got this one. Dietary supplements, the same thing. They want you to take something for the liver, something for the kidney, something for the eyeball. Who knows what's going on in the body? The tonic has it all. It knows what to do, and it works through the blood. And believe me, when that blood starts to clean up, boy, oh boy, you start to clean up. And you can take a blood workup when you go take a photo of it, and before you start the tonic, and 3 months later or 6 months later when you go and have another one, or you go to give blood, take another photo. You'll see the color has changed from anywhere from dark maroon to even black to redder and redder. And we have some people now, they send in their photos of their blood. It's fire engine red. It's so clean. When you have blood like that, let me tell you, folks, you're going to be 20 years younger. Now, I'm just 85 and 7 months old, and I've been drinking this since I'm 11 years old. I tell you, I take no systemic meds. I have the energy of most, or better than most 50-year-olds, and I'm still doing this. The brain is razor sharp, and you ask Daniel to send you the audios that we have of any kind of health issue you or your loved ones may have. Listen to them, and just think, if it works for them, why not you? So there we are, Daniel, if that's okay.
Yeah, I went on to the website because the conference software allows me to show a website while we're talking. So I've actually pulled up the JC Tonic, and the Dr. Daniel Mowry has that herbal tonic therapies. And you mentioned those 10 properties that an herbal whole body tonic must contain. And this was before he even, when you introduced him to this product. So this is quite incredible.
He wrote that book in, I think, 1993, the first issue. And I reached him in 1997. And I didn't know how. I talked to a herbalist I knew who happened to know him and got me on the phone. And when I told him what I had, I said, I have a whole body tonic. He just said, no, you don't. And I said, well, I think I do. He says, no, you don't. It's impossible. And then I explained a little bit more, and I shared some information. And he was astounded that, as he put it, he said, I was astounded that anybody in North America knew anything about this tonic herb concept so long ago, talking about my father. And so, yeah, those 10 points he had already written in his book.
Yeah. Let me go back here. I've got a question that's come in. If you are on blood thinners, can you use this product?
The beauty of this, folks, is that you can use it no matter what you're on or what you're not on. It does not interfere with anything. But if you're on medication from a doctor and something for life-threatening things, you just continue using it and drink the tonic, and the next time you go back to the doctor for a checkup, in all likelihood, they're going to reduce your prescription, or maybe stop you, maybe tell you you don't need it anymore, because the body will start to improve. And they can see that right away in a blood workup. And watch and see, they're going to say, hey, what's going on? What have you been doing? Well, if you tell them you're taking this, they'll probably poo-poo it away, because they don't practice this kind of thing we're talking about, and they really never learned about it, and so they're a bit ignorant of how it all functions. So just keep drinking it, and people have weaned themselves, and doctors have taken hundreds of people off the medication for whatever it is, what you mentioned, or high blood sugar, or cholesterol. I just got a text from somebody who said their blood sugar was, blood sugar, cholesterol, and all the rest of the markers was down like 50%, and they've been drinking it for, 3 months or 6 months. So that's just to show you that this does not cure anything. We're not there curing anything, just making a better body, like your car. It's just a tune-up, and when your body gets tuned up through the blood, every part of the body is touched positively and starts to function better, and things kick in, and more oxygen goes to the brain, and so on. So we have people with anything from the top of their head to the bottom of their toes and everything in between that has been alleviated or they no longer have. And we make absolutely no claims and no cures and no nothing, and we insist that people don't do that. You don't have to make a claim. You don't have. As a matter of fact, our own company conference calls, I always start by saying, folks, this cures nothing. Because it doesn't. It's not made to for any particular part of the body other than the blood. And that's the cleaning process. So if you can keep your blood clean or get it clean any other way and it works, great. Whatever works in my books is good if you're able to get rid of your health issues. But that's not the situation in America, unfortunately.
We've got another comment that's come in. Member has a church member in his congregation that has enlarged prostate, so hoping that this can help him. So we can pass this call along to this man. And I just want to make a quick comment.
Daniel, before you go on, can I just mention, you received our email in which there is a whole range of health issues, and you can just pass that along. There is something on prostate. There is something on mental problems. There's something on reproductive. I mean, we've now got reports people's testosterone is shooting up. 50, 60-year-olds, their testosterone is going up double than what it was, and so every part of the body is being touched by this in a positive way. So send those along to those folks, and that would enlighten them and give them the answers they need.
Yes, I will. I want to follow along with your talking about the blood, and we'll close the call here in just a couple more minutes. But I noticed that I had a little bit of I'm fairly healthy. Because of I got into the wellness field in 2005. I had been working in the airline business, and the airline decided that our whole work group had to do some things. And so I said, well, I'll go into the wellness field. And I could see that, the baby boom generation, and I could see that it would be a very rewarding because I like wellness myself. And so I am fairly healthy, but I noticed an improvement in my digestive system. And then the other thing is, I don't believe anything that I have used through the years in the wellness field has ever touched on cleaning my glands. And so the mental focus and clarity is coming back, Anthony. And I talked to you earlier this afternoon, and I was able to get outside, and I'm in my middle 60s, so I'm a baby compared to you. But I was able to go and do some serious hill climbs on my bicycle and work up a sweat, in the late afternoon sun out here on the West Coast. And so just a way that the tonic helps you feel better, which helps you get out and do the exercise, and that blood's pumping through the heart better. And so it really, your body is this physical and then the mental. And so this is helping the mental health as well as the physical. And then, you have the emotional and spiritual side of your body. So it's all tied in together. I've learned from some very, very highly trained naturopathic and medical herbalists. You might know Dr. James Chappelle. He's got 4 PhDs in this field. And he talked for years that you've got to cleanse the body. And I remember talking to an allopathic doctor, and thank goodness for allopathic doctors. If I go out and break my arm riding my bicycle, I need a doctor to know how to set my arm back in place. But I got into a conversation with one such doctor one day, and they thought that having one bowel movement a week was normal. And I, learning from Dr. Chappelle, that means that their blood is getting all of those toxins built up in their intestines, and that is not healthy. So anyway, I just am so thankful that, I have the energy.
Well, Daniel, you're talking about things like that. America is, it's an epidemic of people who are not having a proper bowel movement. And that, you're right, that poison leaches into the body. And, the least you should do is every couple of days. Every day would be better, but every couple of days is okay. But other than that, the stuff starts leaching and creates havoc in the body. And people don't realize it, and you're right. The doctors think once a week is fine. How did they learn that? I mean, how come people, that's what they're taught. And it's really, really sad that people haven't been told the truth about things like that. And that's one simple thing. If you can be regular, you're probably going to get rid of half of your problems.
Yes, sir.
And I wanted to mention, you said about, I forget what it was you said, but I just wanted to mention that I got a video just a couple of days ago from one of our members who's an alcoholic. And I've been talking to him on and off for a couple of years, trying to see how we can wean him from that. And he gets stopped and he gets started and so on, and get back on the booze. Well, he put out a video, it's on YouTube somewhere, and he just said, I took your final suggestion, Anthony, and I boosted the dose to, I think, 3 or 4 ounces a day. And he said, it is amazing what it's done to my body. He said, I would drink on a weekend 30 bottles, I mean, the big bottles of beer. And he used to tell me he would drink until he would fall on his face somewhere. And he said he hasn't had a drink now for 3 or 4 days, and it doesn't bother him one bit. I mean, this is incredible,
Yeah.
So there are all kinds of ways that people can have a better life and a better lifestyle and a better quality of life by improving their health. And this is certainly the least expensive way that I've ever heard about.
Well, I want to thank you for your time, Anthony, and get back to the person that shared the JC Tonic with you. And you can contact me. We have a Telegram team room, and I'm going to be posting the SoundCloud audio recordings. And Anthony mentioned that we've got the company conference. It's the second Sunday night of every month, right, Anthony?
Well, it's supposed to be like the second. It varies. This month it'll be on the 16th on Sunday, and the phone number is simple for those that want to join. It's 351-888-7075. No access code. Just dial in. It's at 6 Pacific, 9 Eastern.
Okay, appreciate that, sir. So, thank you, Anthony, for your time, and we're going to help many people with the JC Tonic, and we're going to help people get their use solution. I like that. And we'll be back again for another call in the future. God bless everyone. Bye for now.